Namaste Yogis. Today's pose is Parivritta Trikonasana, or Revolved Triangle pose. Now, contrary to the name, you do not come into this pose from triangle pose. You actually will come into this pose from extended side stretch like we did yesterday, which is why I wanted to tie these two together a little bit. So what you'll do here first is you'll come into the same pose that we started with yesterday for the extended side stretch. So take the left leg behind you with the feet just angled slightly out, feet hip distance left to right. Press into all four corners of the front foot, press into all four corners of the back foot, make sure that the heel is on the ground. Square the hips, and then if you have blocks, definitely have them nearby so we can get the alignment down before going any deeper into the pose. So if you have those blocks, bring them close to you on the highest height for starters, or just one block. Square the hips, take your right hand to your right hip, and reach the left arm forward, lengthening the spine, crown of head away from the tailbone. Press again through all four corners of both feet, so you're engaging the quads. You might want to keep a micro bend in that right knee if you're feeling your leg talk to you a little bit too much. So engage the core, so we're bending from the core. So once you've gotten your spine to parallel, drop your left hand to the block on the inside of your foot, and then using your core, twist your heart space towards the right side of the room. Now you can take your right hand back and around behind you. You can take your right hand to your right hip to gently bring that right hip back into its socket as you rotate the left hip forward. You can bring the right hand to the sky. Try to make sure your hips stay square and that you're rotating from the navel and not from the hips. So what happens if you rotate from the hips is that left hip will drop down, right hip will come up, and you'll be able to go a lot farther in the twist, but the alignment isn't good. So press down through the left heel and engage the core. Keep the hips square and twist through the navel. And we'll try it again on the other side. Left foot forward this time. Block on the inside of the left foot. Hip square. Left hand to left hip. Reach forward. To keep the hip square and find a lot of length along the spine. So gently dip the chin and then drop that right hand to the block. And you can keep your left hand on your hip, or you can reach your left hand up to the sky. Make sure that you are continuing to press the left hip back and the right heel into the mat. And if you're feeling a little bit like you can go further, you can turn the block to a lower level. Or you can come all the way to the floor if you have enough flexibility. Just work on squaring the hips. Don't let the right hip drop. And to come out of it, gently bend the knee, step back forward. There's a lot of little cues, a little alignment, self-adjustments that go on in a revolved triangle pose. So just constantly work on keeping those hips square, engaging the core, and not rounding too much in the upper body so you keep a long, flat back. And you can do that as well by slightly dipping the chin to find a long crown of head and keep the cervical spine in line. Don't force too much of a twist. Allow your core to do the twisting for you, and then just find length through the arms. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you tomorrow for the next one. Namaste.